Welcome back, and in this nugget, let's talk about the third important maker attribute that breaks or makes the maker. So far we talked about the law of conservation of energy and the second one being the law of iteration. These are just laws that I'm making up, okay? The third law is about how you think about, how you see a problem and a solution is important. So I can kind of put it as law of holism, a very holistic way of looking at it. So there is a whole and there are parts to it. So when you look at the whole, you will be able to see it as you're not looking at it as a sum of parts. You're just looking at it as a whole. It has its own, ways of its capabilities are different, the attributes are different, the way it relates to the other, aspects in the environment are different. But when you look at the parts, when you kind of look at between the parts, okay, there are 10 parts and each part relates to the other parts in this way. So here is the interconnection, here are the attributes and things like that. So when you look at the deconstructed mode and a reconstructed mode, it's completely different. So as makers, I have seen many times that we don't really look at a problem and a solution, or just a problem or just a solution in a holistic way. Because if you look around us, we are surrounded by a number of systems. We are living in a system. We carry a number of systems. Look at our human body. It's made of some 11 systems. And if you really look at your solar system, your galaxy, everything for that matter, it's kind of working in a system way. So it's important for us to kind of look at everything that manner, so that we don't miss solving any of the nuances that are actually there, but because we did not see it, we missed that perspective. So just continuing the example of the YouTube and the trial and the error that I'm going through. So far I have iterated with probably constraints, just having mobile photography, mobile videography, and that's about it. I'm not going to kind of increase the workload. The two is, okay, just played with some sunlight. Now I can't do it in the night, so I just added a light. So this is how the iteration happened. And the conservation of energy is like, I'm not going to work with any more equipments, and this is about it. So now I'm trying to see how can I look at the whole and the parts. If you really look at a video, of course there are parts like what kind of big idea that I bring in, what kind of articulation that I bring in, what kind of content that is shared, what kind of examples that are shared, what is the environment looking like, how is the sound quality. But if you really look at it, there are some parts which are kind of working together, which gives more return of investment. And one of it is definitely lighting. So it's not the actual equipment that is you can go ahead and buy a 6 lakh worth of camera, or you can just go ahead and buy a 600 rupees worth of light, which can kind of elevate you in a completely different fashion. And this is a way of using the holistic thinking and then going ahead and figuring out which parts to work with. And once you know the parts and the intricacies within the parts and the relationships, you will be able to connect them, which means I can reduce the cost of production of the energy that I'm spending on this into a very small box, so that I can start controlling these variables in a certain way. So you can look at any problem in terms of whole and parts, and you'll be able to see it with a completely new pair of eyes. And this is going to help you in looking at the problem statement itself very differently. If at all your problem statement is super clear, you will start looking at your solution very differently. And this ability to have the whole and the parts kind of sorted out, it will make you a better ideator. The minute you are able to mix and match, you are getting creative, because creativity is nothing but novelty and utility kind of coming together. So the minute you are changing certain parts and just controlling the whole, naturally you will be able to do well. So the idea is to have the secret sauce of remixing, and law of holism will help you get that secret sauce with you at any point in time. And I hope you find this useful. Go ahead and put it in comments, or just DM me wherever, and tell me what is that you are looking at right now, and how can we really look at it in terms of whole as well as the parts. You can take any scenario. You can take COVID, you can take human body, you can take healthcare, you can take video making, you can take anything. There will be whole and there will be parts, and the parts will contribute to the whole. And these are the variables that are available for problem solvers like us. Let me know, how are you really looking at the world around you? And the minute we have new pair of eyes, the old world will also seem very interesting. And that's the whole idea of this Maker series. And I am looking forward to see you next week.